Ian.
I'm so happy to be here with you, Lou. We've done this many, many times. You and I have been doing these NFT NYC interviews for a few years now, and I'm excited about your updates. So take it away. Let me know a bit about what's happening in your world. And of course, we'll touch base on your background. I think folks that don't know you yet, if that's even a possibility in the NFT space, will be excited to get to know you more.
Sure. So thanks, Ian. A couple crypto OGs here. I've been focused really the majority of my time on blockchain co-investors, which is a crypto fund to fund. And we also do one-off investments. And we've got us, we'll be IPOing a SPAC in a couple of weeks. So I've been saying super busy.
Well, you've always stayed super busy, no matter what you're doing. Let's go all the way back to when you first started developing Web2 centralized communities. And then maybe we could talk a bit about your jumping the chasm over to Web3 and all that you've done to foster the amazing communities that many of us have benefited from for many, many years.
Sure. Well, and thanks for that, Ian. So the second company, digital company that I ran from 2003 to 2006 was called Bolt. It was the largest social network in the world before MySpace. We peaked at 23 million kids. And so, I really learned how to run a community and how to try and optimize a community. And I continued to invest in and around community after Bolt, including being an investor in Meetup. And that worked out well. And being an investor in Facebook when it was still private, that worked out well. Fast forward to June 29th, 2017, and it was actually on a conference call I was holding to really understand ICOs because they were going vertical. And I'd gone down the crypto rabbit hole for over a year in 13, 14, and looked at it, but did not see it. And on June 29th, 2017, I saw the crypto light. What I saw was, for the first time in history, we now had a set of tools to solve for the community instead of the man in the middle. And I really believe that is going to be the biggest thing to happen in the history of humanity.
Well, I think most of us, if not all of us, agree with you on that. When it comes to the development of Crypto Mondays, I've been to dozens, I feel like, of the different locations. Maybe it hasn't been that many, but like thriving in the Bay Area, thriving in New York, thriving in Puerto Rico. One thing was the launch of that and the stewardship of that. And another thing is to hand that off and decentralize and allow others to run with it. And then kind of what happened with the pandemic and that physical gatherings got radically interrupted. Can you talk a bit about your experience as founder, co-founder, delegator, participant, kind of shocked at the changes? Maybe you could walk us through a little bit of your perspective on that.
Sure. So I had started other meetups. The CEO of Meetup kept on, asking, when are you going to start one? When are you going to start one? So I started one, and they're kind of magical. The people who you want to show up because you're passionate about something, want other passionate people to show up, just show up. It's really a great product. And so when we started Crypto Monday on June 8th, 2018, which obviously we didn't know it at the time, but that was literally the peak market cap day for 3 years. So that was really the height of the mania. We had 300 people at the first one. We had 350 people and 3 television crews at the second one. And, that's when, I decided, let's blow it out around the world, right? Crypto Mondays is great. It's just a meetup for the community to network with other people in the community. We now, have speakers. I called some friend of mine in Los Angeles and told them about how, Crypto Mondays in New York, and they were excited to start it up in LA. And other than that, the rest of them have all grown organically. People reaching out saying, hey, can I start a Crypto Monday here or there? On Monday will be the 66th city to start Crypto Mondays, Crypto Mondays Brooklyn. So I'm super excited for that. In 2019, during crypto winter, I spent half my time on the road. I went to Crypto Mondays not only all over the US, but in 14 different international cities, where in cities like Shanghai, I'd never been to Shanghai, and I get to go to be a crypto guy in Shanghai because Crypto Monday rocks there. It rocks in Tel Aviv, it rocks in London. I would say the best one that I've been to is Crypto Monday Paris. There's this sick workspace there called Station F. Have you ever been there?
I have not been to Station F. I haven't even been to Paris. Isn't that sad?
Ah,
Been all over
yeah,
the world,
very
and I
sad.
still haven't been to Paris.
But if I had a tissue here, I'd shed a tear.
Oh, man.
Um, and it's so awesome because the shared workspace is incredibly sick, massive, beautiful. It's literally the biggest restaurant is part of this shared workspace in Europe, the most seats. And it has this incredibly beautiful sunken auditorium with 200 massive leather seats. And when tickets go on sale, the whole thing sells out in like 2 minutes. And people feel so lucky when they get to go to it because it sells out so quick.
When you think about the future of decentralized communities, Web3 communities, if I say NFT 2024, and you put on your community developer and community participant hat, what are you hoping develops the next 2 or 3 years around our decentralized communities that are just really getting started?
Sure. Well, real quick, you first have to define community, right? Because it's a word we all use, but I think it probably means different things to different people. To me, what a community is an ecosystem where everybody gets more out of it than they put in, which is really magical, right? And so, I think, the two areas of community that we, still have a lot of work to go on, the first is governance and consensus. So I actually have a governance and consensus meetup. And the other one is token economics. And I also have a token economics meetup. That they don't meet regularly. They meet when there's somebody in New York that I think is worthy of a meetup. And both of them have very passionate followings. And it's really on the token economics side, how we incentivize the community members to do what's in the best interest of the community. That I think we're going to make lots of strides on today. Most of it has been on making money, and there's certainly nothing wrong with making money. We all want to make lots of money, and that's great. But if you're building a community and the money's easy to be made, that's great. But when the money becomes harder to make, which it always does, it's just a pendulum, then a lot of those community members go away. So, what's super exciting now that we're starting to see in NFTs is obviously communities like Bored Ape Yacht Club, where not only are they making lots of money, but they're getting status from having a Bored Ape. They're getting entrance into events that they couldn't otherwise get entry to. And I think those are just some of the very early tools that we're seeing that can really drive community engagement. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing is engagement. I really believe that communities are either growing their engagement or they're dying.
So maybe a final word, as we like to keep these things short, although you and I could talk for a long time. Maybe we'll do another thing together in New York. If you had all the billboards in Times Square, you have everybody from NFT NYC gathered up, what would be something that you'd want to say to everybody?
I think the thing that I try, everybody who's there at NFT NYC has probably already seen the crypto light. So my main message to them would just be, whatever reason that you're here for, when the pendulum swings the other way, and it will, stick around because it's going to swing back. I have a joke. I have a word that I use to describe the tendency of markets to go from bubbles to crash and bubbles again. And the word that perfectly describes that is capitalism.
Everyone that's watching us live or sees the archive, take that in. Lou says, stick around. Okay, understand it. Pendulum swings from one to the end, right? It's a bubble. It's a crash. It's a bubble. It's a crash. If and when things crash, don't abandon ship. Stay with us, because this is just the beginning of something great, and we are all going to thrive in this environment. And if you don't know me, my name's Ian Utilia. I'm one of the co-producers of NFT NYC. If you don't know Lou, where have you been? He is, amongst many things, the co-founder of Crypto Mondays, and an uncle to many of us in the space that we look to for advice and for support in many, many ways. And you've been so gracious to do that for many of us. So Lou, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in New York.